worth more money down the road.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe. Can't guarantee that.
I'm interested to see how this group intersects with the other efforts that are emerging after this.
Good to meet you.
How you doing?
You're seated.
I'm seated.
Where's your name tag?
I don't have one yet. They have to mill it out first, you know.
That's a big deal.
Palmer Trophy's backed up right now. They just had the Freddie Awards.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's big.
How are you?
It's an EAILD weekend sorting
You doing
grant
good?
applications and all kinds of stuff. And then Brooke's in town from Florida, so I'm going out with her for dinner
So you're
tonight.
busy. Well, hopefully this is a short meeting. Hopefully a short meeting.
Yeah, no, she's already holding the table somewhere outside.
This will be a very short meeting. Mitt, how are you?
Oh, I'm good.
I didn't get a chance to copy that file, so I'll do
No, I told you, 30 days easy. Very easy. Keep it simple, right? And I saw your daughter. I was getting a hair trim. And she has
Oh,
this
yes.
long, dark hair. My God. Incredible. Now Diane's such a New Year's. I thought that was going to be demolished.
It's soon to be.
Taking it apart?
Looks like they started up on the roof.
Okay.
When did they do the artwork? A couple weekends ago?
Yeah, before the 30th, that's for sure.
Yeah.
They hired a graffiti artist or not?
Yes.
It doesn't look like it.
How about it?
It looks pretty bad.
Yeah, I'd like to call the historic district,
Are you on?
Yeah, make sure it's running.
Make sure your button's on.
I think so.
Yeah, I'm on.
Now you're on.
Like to call the Historic District Commission meeting of June 8th to order. Roll call.
Diane Haviland. She's coming, I think I heard.
She is, yeah.
Mario
Here.
Guariello. Is that good?
That was perfect.
I'm getting better. Charbel is not here today. Clay Mittman. Phil Mittman. Chelsea Morizzi. And James.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Could I have a motion for the approval of the meeting from May 11th,
I'll make the motion.
2026?
And I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. As far as the HDC process goes, our applicants today have made application to our commission. They will be reviewed by our historic consultant. You will have the opportunity to add any additional information to your application. Then the commission will make any comments they have, give the public a chance to make any comments if there is any public tonight. And then we will either approve, deny, approve with conditions, or we have the right to table to another meeting. Our first application tonight is 212 South Fifth Street, proposal to replace a roof. Armando and Iris Perez. You can just come up to the front table and Christine will read your application and we can go from there.
So this structure is a 2.5-story, 2-bay row house with gable roof flanked by masonry party walls with stepped parapets. The house has 1/1 double-hung windows, metal-applied shutters, vinyl or aluminum siding above brick veneer on the first floor, and a shallow pent roof with extended gable roof at the entry. The house dates from 1972 and is vaguely colonial revival in style. This house and the row of houses are non-contributing to the historic district. They're located at really a far edge of the district. Standard that would apply would be standard 9 and also our local design guidelines on roofs. The standard 9 just saying the exterior alterations should not destroy historic materials that characterize a property, and that new work should be compatible with the massing, size, scale, and architectural features to protect the historic integrity of the property and its environment. This building is part of a row of non-contributing homes. The roof would never have been slate, so references to slate with the new asphalt fiberglass shingles is not warranted. It's in my opinion that the proposed shingle would be appropriate for the date of the house and the style of the house. So this proposal is it's an architectural shingle, and he's requesting a brown color. Is that correct?
Yes.
Sir? Yep. And if there's anything you'd like to add to my comments, you have an opportunity.
No, I mean, I have the color of the shingles, if you care to see. Yeah, it's pretty much it. I think it would match the side, the color of the siding.
And there's also a home to at least one side, maybe there's another that has a brown shingle on it already. It's got like a gable roof, gambrel sort of roof.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I couldn't place that.
Yeah, and we're at the far edge,
Yeah.
and we are really in a whole area of non-contributing buildings.
Okay.
And the owner, we chatted before, it was like he had no idea he was in the historic district way back.
Yeah, when I first purchased the property, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay, any comments from commissioners?
No comment.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve as submitted.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Pretty simple.
Yeah.
And I'll review your permit tomorrow morning, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Our next application is 24 North 3rd Street, proposal to replace a rear flat roof. Applicant Charlottesville Properties, LLC. Hello.
Welcome.
So I'm just going to start with this. I don't think this is visible from the public right of way. So
Didn't look at.
yeah, I wasn't down on the street, but the Google Street Views and understanding that area, I don't believe we can see this. If we did see what the proposed, it's a modified torch, not necessarily torch down, but modified bituminous roof. Wasn't clear if you wanted a gray or a black. But
It's going to be, this is a current roof, we'll just replace it with the same color.
I don't
So
even know
it's-
what color is it.
That's like gray or whitish,
Oh, so it's a light color.
light color,
Yeah.
yeah. So we're going to replace the same like light color roof.
Um,
Probably, it's going to be in the back,
yes.
inside, so you're not going to see it on the street.
If you look at the image of this, this building was the Dernan property, has large shed dormer in the front. It's been highly altered, shed dormer in the back. This is a flat roof area in the back.
I can tell you that you can't see it from, I can see it from my roof.
But you're not
But-
public.
But that's not public, so you can't really see it, so I question why,
Yeah.
if it really needed to be here.
Right, it's just the flat top part, not
Right.
the sides.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think we have jurisdiction.
I don't think we
Don't
need,
think we
I don't
do
think
either.
it's a part of our,
I don't think there would be no COA, I think, that would make sense, because you can't see it.
So,
So do we just,
With, well, essentially, no action because it's not visible from public right of way.
correct? But he still has to pay his application fee either way.
I think he's already paid it.
Did you play it?
The roof, the contractor, I think they already paid.
Okay.
I'm not, I'm pretty sure they paid for the permit, but I don't know if they paid for the historical.
Probably did
application.
get here. I don't think you get an appointment if you don't.
I have no idea when, things get paid, but,
Okay, but anyway, do we, we just basically say
No action.
no action needed because it doesn't, we can't see it from the right of way, so
All right,
you're free to get your
all right,
permit.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
and,
Thanks.
I think when they take in they do the intake, they don't know whether it's visible or not, so.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. I'm glad
Better be
we
safe
got
than
approval.
sorry.
Yeah,
right?
thank you.
Thank you.
Have a
Our
good night.
final application is 13 South Fifth Street, proposal to replace steps
Thanks, David.
and landing. Is there anybody here for 13 South Fifth Street? No. His application brings up an interesting point. We had that one, Christine, we had one that we did sort of an in-house review on Third Street. Remember, I took the photos and you couldn't, there was a
Trying to remember
small
which one it was.
hole in the,
Oh, yes.
a small chipped piece of stucco out of a foundation on the back of a property on Third Street. And you really can't see it from the right of way unless you like walk into a private parking lot or look through bushes. And it was cited on their buyer notification report. So, so I took a photo of it and the streetscape got it to Christine. Christine said, no, we really can't see it. And that they shouldn't necessarily make an application. But if you want, I can provide you photos of that to show you what we approved.
I trust you.
It's the one that Antonio Griffo owns right at the corner of Third and Bushkill, but she's in behind the parking lot.
Yeah, I know where it is.
And it was a little piece of stucco in the back.
The
Yeah.
other,
Now, is there anything that we need to do if something doesn't meet our jurisdiction, that it doesn't hang on to a code report?
Well, I mean, this would go,
Should go in the
so Anna would be advised when we send, not Anna, is it Karen, that this is not, had no action, not
So they didn't make an
visible.
application,
Oh, for the one you're talking about on Third?
Third Street, yeah.
I don't know.
So like with this guy, if this
Just bear with
guy
me,
had
I'm looking it up right
somehow-
now.
If somebody knew that it was a flat roof, he wouldn't have had to pay the fee and come here. So I hate to see people pay fees and come when they don't need to come.
Right. So other places, when, like, we do a staff review, like we're talking about
Right.
on Thirds, is we have a line item on the agenda for staff approvals, and they get approved as a single lump. You can have like one or two or three of them, and a COA covers them all. We'd have to work out the logistics of that, but that's one way to make sure it doesn't hang up on a.
Yeah, in this case, the contractor, all they put was quote residential roof replacement and then dash 37 North Bank Street. That was all the information we had.
Yeah.
So right
It's
away.
hard to know. And
yeah,
right away, that's going to trigger review.
Yep.
And
Because it doesn't. Sometimes they'll designate flat roof, wherever it may be. This one, it's just is vague.
Well, and the one that I'm referring to, I don't think that
was
it
a-
would have been a permitted item that they would have had to go for a permit anyway.
correct.
But it is an item on the code report that says you must go for a historic
Oh.
district approval.
Was this a change of hands?
It's a resale,
Okay.
resale inspection. I don't recall the address of the property.
Yeah, so, I mean, we might need to sort of dig into it further to see what we need to do.
If it comes up, I'll
Yeah.
dig further.
Do you know who the inspector was?
Who does downtown?
Usually, right now it's Rami. It could
Rami.
have been Lincoln Holly.
It was Rami.
It was Rami. Okay.
Which is another question maybe you can answer, is I've had a couple of code inspections where Rami comes back to do the reinspection and he adds items to the
First time I inspected.
first inspection.
Okay.
And I thought that wasn't supposed to be the way we,
Yeah, it shouldn't happen that
Did
way.
it.
I mean, was it something that later on it was further damage, or was it just, you think, missed items?
Or, yeah.
you know, like in this case, it was a piece of stucco about the size of a baseball that was not deep. It just surfacely came off.
Mm-hmm.
But while he was there, he noted that, gee, the trim needs painting. So then he added to the list that you should paint all the trim. Well, that wasn't on the report.
On the first time, that one just occurred in between
Well,
inspections.
it didn't change in 35 days.
That's what I mean. Like
Yeah.
the trim didn't.
The trim didn't all of a sudden
It
get
just didn't. The
start
paint didn't erode off and
peeling.
start chipping inside.
But it was more, because he was looking at the back of the building, it was more noticeable, and it was something that was added. So
Okay.
it's really just a question about if the inspector misses something the first time, is it normal to add things on the reinspection? So the list keeps getting longer, not shorter.
Yeah. No. Usually, if it's like something that's like a life and safety issue that was missed, sure. But I'll touch base with him.
So,
He's only been on board for about 4 or 5 months now,
I know.
so he's still new. It's just getting.
so that brings up a question, if it's okay to sidebar onto Rami and inspections. So were you on my email?
The
Saying
stained glass.
the leaded glass on South Second Street, I had copied Charbel just because I should have had you on it, James, and I had Clay. So Rami says that whole leaded glass thing has to be repaired. To get it repaired means taking it out, spending over $8,000.
Mhm.
He said that this has been in that state for however long he's had the building.
For decades.
Yeah.
Decades. And so it's not moving anywhere. He said he could do a little bit of, I think there was a small crack or something that he could do a little, some sort of fill in it. He checked all the stained glass people in the area, and we went through the different names. So I don't think this is I don't believe it's a life safety issue. Can this be revisited with Rami, maybe with yourselves and myself? We look at whether maybe just a little bar over the glass so that it didn't push out further, but he said it hasn't moved.
Yeah, well, it's not only that. Any damaged glazing in the city ordinance has to be sound. Can't have cracks in it, stuff like that. So that's where that came into place.
But the owner will now remove a beautiful stained glass transom.
Yeah, we'd
that's been
lose it.
there.
So in a case like this, have them appeal it.
Okay,
You could always do appeal.
okay.
Because it's like that's something becomes. It's a unique situation for most places because there's not much stained leaded glass anymore. They can do an appeal on it as a hardship. Make reasons in front of the board why it doesn't. It shouldn't be replaced, and that's all.
I had one years ago on College Hill that was a beautiful historic 2-story stained glass window, and there were 4 or 5 pieces of the stained glass which had cracks in stained glass. It wasn't visible, it wasn't air, but they were cracks. And to dismantle, it would have been impossible if even done. And we did the same thing. We appealed it to the city and said it doesn't make sense because they'll have to remove a $30,000 window because there's 3 cracked panes. And they said, yeah, we understand. It's not.
Yep.
So appeal's a good idea.
So I'll let him know. It's a Code Board of Appeal. Is the process online?
Yeah, it's right on the city website.
Okay.
I believe it's under the code enforcement tab, if I'm not mistaken.
I appreciate the fact that his name is Rami, right?
Mhm.
Rami is thorough, but sometimes
I wonder
it's a little aggravating.
I wonder if he could come to a meeting and we could talk a little bit about historic features and, that they don't always meet code. In some cases, it's.
Well, I can
know-
also, because he's going to be, he's a union employee, and for him, unless we want to set up a meeting in the office, but because he'll get overtime.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing. Worst case scenario, I just let him know any historical features just run it by me and then we'll make the decision from there,
Yeah, that,
you know?
That's the best way. I've got a couple people contacting me too about properties. He's being, he's really going by the book and not considering the historic property.
Sure.
It's not, making
It's-
something legal that isn't legal.
It's tough because you kind of, you're going between what the city ordinance states as the property maintenance code, and then you have the historical side of it.
Well, that's where
Yeah,
the
that's-
in-house you and, somebody can work through it,
I mean, sure, we can. It's just finding that middle line, finding that happy medium.
we
That's the
agree.
problem.
I mean, with commercial properties, the existing building code, there's statements in that code about, it can be up to the code official on certain
Sure.
items, but
Sure.
when you get to residential, there's nothing there that's exactly the same. So, anyway, that would be good.
Okay.
And then I'll tell this, Carrie Bloom, tell him about the appeal process.
Looks like the third one's not here, right?
Correct. Do
Okay.
we have any old business?
So, I mean, do we want to look at that? I mean, it's a pretty much a almost in-kind replacement of concrete. I just,
Do that without them here?
well, we did one last
Well,
month.
is that the photo of it right there?
This is, yeah, 13 South.
It's those beautiful, there's a pair of beautiful homes on South Fifth. This side, they're deteriorating. There is a nosing on the two steps. There's no nosing on the landing. My write-up, I say, this would be appropriate if the nosings are maintained and one is added to the landing. And if you look at the neighbor, that's how it is.
Is this the right-hand side or the left-hand side?
So this is the right that would be replaced. The left hand has nosing on the three.
So I think these people have been before us before.
And these are new owners, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
And I think they're from a distance at
They
this point.
spend half the year outside the country. They do trips to the Galapagos Islands.
And this could be that it's a contractor submitting and not here or something.
They always have people do it, so it's not like they're doing it themselves. They're always contractors.
So,
I would have no problem with that if the board doesn't have a problem giving them guidelines on what they need to do.
I'm fine with that too.
Agreed.
pretty much I say match the neighbor.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make that.
We have a motion, we have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye. So they'll be notified. Okay.
I have that one, I hope some of you saw that Monty Kelsey has ordered a new sign for the
Yes.
Dutch Point.
That was good.
Okay.
Yeah, he ordered it about 2 months ago, I believe.
Say again?
About 2 months ago, he ordered it.
Okay.
Is it the same configuration of the old sign, but just not?
It's based off of your COA,
Okay,
so it's gonna be a halo lit rather than illuminating.
that's fine, as long as
So-
he's following the COA.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully the sign guy knows what halo lit is
Well,
at this point.
first time around,
Yeah.
I know.
I wonder who paid for that.
I have a request for some guidance from Comcast folks. They want to put at various intersections, I didn't print that out, several of them in the historic district, these lovely boxes.
They provide the locations yet?
They did, but I forgot to print it out. I can forward the information to you, and I just forgot to do it last night. They're looking for guidance. They'll be coming, but requesting guidance. Looks like they need some kind of ventilation. They're kind of louvers there. At first I was like, can we make them look better, cover them or something?
Cable.
And they sit on the sidewalk.
Internet, is
Well,
that?
Comcast will compete with RCN and
Yeah.
Service Electric.
Which one is it? Oh, this.
It's a UGI kind of mess
Yeah.
again.
Do you know what other historic districts have done?
This is the first I've come across this. You know, I've dealt with antennas and cell tower stuff on roofs, but this is the first one for this.
So I imagine, do you think this is underground or wireless? What they do nowadays for,
I have no idea.
He said, because he called me on the phone, he said that it's going to have some sort of transformer built into it, and that's what the louvers are for dissipating the heat.
Yeah.
What are their competitors doing?
well,
I think they're-
pre-existing underground.
Or strung along telephone poles, depending on what you have in the city.
But we don't have many telephone poles. in
You're
the city.
lucky. You're lucky. Yeah.
So I know that, for example, some areas of downtown have a sound, but many areas don't. So my office has both Service Electric and a sound, but then everything on Spring Garden Street has only Service Electric.
And the sound and Service Electric, all the local competitors, what are they doing in lieu of those boxes with the transformer built in? Again,
Well, I think they're just pre-wired underground, so they don't have, it's a different technology, I think.
well, that's still, there's still wiring and still underground, right? That's not running up.
It's underground,
But
yeah.
it's still underground,
Yeah.
so what?
That's-
But why do we need it?
That's what I'm
Right,
asking.
I don't know, I guess they don't have it.
If
Can we
if-
require that?
I'm going to ask them what their
Why not put it
competitors
under
do.
there? Yeah.
Well, what are the options?
Instead of giving this to us and saying, this is what we want, can we hear what options they
Right.
have? Let's go back to them and ask that.
Well, that's why they're asking us, I think.
And it could be something with, the new infrastructure, right? It's just, we're talking about not megabytes, we're talking about gigabytes, so they could be required just because of the
The-
the
Maybe the
capacity.
state
Right.
requirement. Or federal.
Or that too,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or technology requirement.
No, yeah.
We'd like to hear what other options they have.
That's for sure.
I can look into that. I'm not really.
Yeah, I was like, oh boy.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy is right. There is the UGI all over again.
I will forward what I have on the locations.
Mhm.
Jesus.
If you could forward me to Christine, he was
Oh.
supposed to email me. I never received it.
Oh, I will do that.
At the end of the day, if it's something that's, necessary, the question is, what do you do to make that work? If anything.
And do you recall how many locations? Is it block by block, or is it
There were about 6 locations
Wow.
for the
Oh,
whole
yeah,
for the whole downtown?
All
for,
his-
for
all
the in the historic district.
6 in historic?
Yeah.
Do we want their
I
business
didn't
out?
get a chance to sort of plot out where they were, but it's like I think 6.
I think a question, I think going back to them and asking more questions.
Basically, what do their competitors do? What are our options?
And
Is
what do
there-
they do in other historic districts?
Good.
Is there a technical reason why this is a box that's not underground? We need more context,
Most likely for servicing.
you think?
I would say so, yeah.
Interesting.
And another question is, does this board have authority on public right-of-ways in a scenario with utilities?
Like UGI?
Like anything, like for instance, over here at the corner, you have all your utility boxes right here on Larry Holmes,
Yeah, I know.
3rd Street. Because that was another question, because Barry and me were discussing it.
We approve that?
We did not.
They just put them up?
We don't have a choice on that, I guess. They have to go someplace, but yeah.
Yeah. Well,
But like in Watermark, the first group was on the outside, the second
Yeah,
group they got on the inside.
inside.
But that's on a building,
Right.
not
But,
a public right-of-way.
Not
Not-
freestanding.
Right.
That's
not-
I mean-
where, because Barry and me were discussing it, and it's a gray.
Our language in the Easton Code is intentionally pretty broad to say, and I'm gonna find the exact language again, but it's just saying general, proposed changes should generally be in line with historical and architectural character requirements of Easton. Again, it's alluding to that, but it's a blanket term. So it's how do you interpret that? So James's point is pretty.
Get the lawyers.
Well, I mean, these things didn't exist, in a certain era, right? So
Well, I have to thank them that they're coming for some input, which makes me think that there are potentially options. Otherwise,
They came forth to the board because of the engineering department. Because they were doing where the locations are gonna be for these boxes, and the city engineer said, hey, by the way, this is an historic district. Maybe it'd be who of you to contact the historic district.
okay. And then maybe maybe they could position them a certain way, or, I mean, maybe there's things once I
Location.
plot out where they're at.
And do they have to be at those locations? Maybe we can find if we do have to approve something, can we find some obscure place? that
Well,
we
some of
find
them
it?
I think were sort of secondary streets, but I don't remember which
It's fine.
locations. But, I mean, that's the other thing. Can we, just the way they're positioned, have them less obtrusive?
Yeah.
I also think it has an impact on private property owners as
Sure.
well. If somebody wants to put
Sure.
that in front of my front door, I'm gonna have an issue.
Oh, sure.
Sure. Like
So,
UGI.
yeah,
Yeah,
Remember? Oh, yeah, okay. Spring Garden, okay.
yeah,
out there.
No.
yeah. So, okay, I think if there's any other questions, let me know. But
And if you have those locations, if you could email those
those,
out to us.
I will. Yeah, I'm going to email the whole. I have 2 emails, so both of them will come to all of you.
The,
Great.
the other thing is, you all probably received an invitation from Monty for their, okay, everybody's been informed about that, right? Okay.
I think Phil took care of that
Yep.
by forwarding Monty's invitation.
Do we have any announcements, comments, or violations that we need to bring up tonight?
I have one. I just got a email from Dave Hopkins on Friday for the United Church of Christ over on Church and 3rd Street. Apparently, there's been some complaints about the lights that they have on the building. He was kind of vague about the location. I drove by today. It looks like it might be on the section of Church Street there, but if at all possible, if I can get pictures at night
Wait.
with the light
lights-
glare
The UCC church on 3rd Street?
In
on
church?
on 3rd
Yeah,
Street
3rd
and
Church.
Church Street, right on the
And White
corner.
Dove Church.
Was
Right.
this, I mean, there were renovations done and new light fixtures installed?
So apparently, there's
Very
been residents
bright.
complaining about the glare from the lights.
Hmm.
So I'm just,
Probably why they turned the steeple lights off.
so I mean, for me to start the code case, I need photos and make sure that the lights don't project past the property boundaries.
Got it.
Because otherwise, I don't really have, with us, we have to have proof of it. And now it's, 9 o'clock at night, 9:30 until the lights come
I
on,
mean, I could take photos, but
you know?
not for 2 weeks.
Are there certain lumen sort of requirements or
There are,
limits? But,
but it's, if I don't have proof,
right,
You know.
Totally. Yet,
and I wish they would just tell the complainees to please upload your photos, make the complaint to the codes department, but
yeah, but I find that so offensive. It's like me complaining about the fire trucks going through town at 2 in the morning. I mean.
that's a little bit different of a reason, though. I
Okay,
mean, they're trying to
but-
save
okay,
lives.
it's about me complaining about the streetlights that are, behind my house. I don't find,
And the new streetlights are bright.
and they should be. They should be. I remember when it was dark and there was foul things going on back there all the time. But I first of all, you want to talk about lights? The garage is definitely in my bedroom window. I don't mind. I don't care. The garage is needed and it needs to be lit. I chose to live in the center of town, and that's sort of how I feel about it.
Unfortunately, that's you and not people complaining about
Then
it.
go
you know?
do you have multiple?
According to his email,
complaints?
they received multiple. Yeah, his email was it was vague at best, but
Yeah,
like I said, I went by today. It looked like there were new LEDs on the side of the building there, but I don't have, without photographic evidence, I don't really have anything for the case.
Yep.
You know,
and I don't know if these were lights that came through. I think Jeff Martinson had worked on some renovations that we reviewed like a year or so ago. Does that ring any bells?
At the church?
Yeah,
No.
no.
I don't.
Maybe it was
I've seen
a
that
long time ago. This could be that they just put up a wall pack.
It's stunning, but I believe they turned it off because people had complained about it. It's stunning. That really shines into my bedroom, and it is stunning.
Which one?
The steeple.
Oh,
They
yeah,
look beautiful.
yeah, yeah.
It's a shame that, it's only a few people, but I think, again, this is an opinion, I think what's going on is 10% of the people complain and everybody jumps for the 10
Yeah, we can.
and doesn't think about the 90.
Well, unfortunately for our department, once it's a complaint, we have to follow through.
I understand
That's
that.
the
Well, you have to
downside.
respond.
But that, you have to respond, you don't have to give them what they want.
But on on the other hand, these could be wall packs. These could be wall packs that are super bright. I don't know.
Well, it's not only an HTC issue, it's also a zoning problem.
Yeah.
It's the two together.
It's
So,
like noise, light.
mhm.
There are some limits on certain aspects. So, in the zoning code.
How do you deal, I'll say how
We're
to you,
business
James.
and
How do you
entertainment
deal with that
district.
customer who's complaining?
Oh, well, like I said, you have to create a code case. Once you have the photographic evidence, you have to carry through. I mean, unfortunately, it's in the ordinance, and we have to enforce the ordinance.
Does a phone or personal conversation ever come into play, or is it?
I mean, sure, I'll reach out to people, yeah, and just give them that, let them know, hey, we have this complaint. Can you please adjust it, alter it? But I don't have any contacts with the church. This just came through Friday, so like I said, I just had some free time just to check it out. But
And what is, the violation is if it's shining, off the site?
it's the
Oh, for God's sake.
it is the proper. I believe the language says the property boundary.
These people from the Hotel Huntington?
I have.
No, they're
I,
no one in there.
I don't know. Dave Hopkins got the the
Yeah, the hotel's under renovation.
so
Lighting doesn't extend off the property, like you have a
The-
tenant,
Exactly.
you have a tenant in the first floor with their lights on for their business, it extends onto the sidewalk.
Yeah.
beyond the lot
Center
lines.
Square?
So the sidewalk is still a lot line.
Okay.
It just can't project past the lot line.
Well, of course it's gonna go past.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of times it's not extremely obvious. Like
Oh, okay, I'm still interested. Who made the complaint?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know?
I got an email from Dave Hopkins.
How
He's-
about letting me know that, will you please?
I can't. It's anonymous.
It's anonymous?
Any complaint is
worse.
anonymous.
Oh, well,
It's unfortunate, but that's how it works.
you know
Well,
what?
now how do you respond to an anonymous?
If they don't like it, don't live downtown.
As
That's my
in-
answer.
Yeah, how do you, that's what I'm trying to
Jesus.
say. How do you respond? Somebody sends in a complaint.
Okay, so typically they'll send a complaint in, like say an exterior violation like this, especially with lights, because this happens a lot. They'll take photos of the lights at night and put it in the complaint in our system, and then we'll download the photos, put it in the code case, and then we just hopefully it gets corrected. If
Back
not,
to the suburbs.
But if you find it's not a violation, then you just don't do anything about it. You've
then if
investigated
it's
it.
not a violation, we say it's not a valid complaint.
Right.
It's literally that's the tab that we
And
click.
there's nobody you have to report back to because it's anonymous, so you don't have to publish other than internally that you've reviewed
Just
it.
internally, I'll say non-valid.
Okay.
But like I said, I don't have any evidence of
Yeah.
it,
Any other,
and I'm not driving down there at 10 o'clock at night.
comments,
Fine, I'll get you some shots.
You know,
but
before
give me some
Mario's
time.
gonna give us an update of, the portal and some, technology updates?
Anything else?
No.
Okay. So I'm sure everybody knows, but HTC is now positioned as the first point of contact for applications.
Wow.
It was not something that was needed to be voted on. It was just, hey, this is in our code. This is what we're going to do. I will be honest, that's not how I interpreted it. Otherwise, it wouldn't have.
Went through the dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just either way. Now that's what's going to happen, and one of the things that I think we can all agree on, it's not with the intention to slow anything down, right? Everything should congruently continue. It's not HGC, and then you can't move on until we give the approval. It should continue to move through the process. So one of the thoughts that I had, and I did discuss with Louis, very informally, was simply because we are first, it might make sense to rearrange the timing of meetings. So this is just a separate thought I want to put out there. If you look at these projects that are not massive, that aren't going to come around and around again, maybe you would want to look to have a process where 1, HGC, 2, zoning, or planning, and then zoning, or whatever it might be, right? So it's just something to think about. Again, if our goal is to make things faster, it could be,
So that assumes that everything will happen in sequence, but it doesn't always work that way.
I understand,
Yeah.
but it was just, timing was a big concern, and, that was just one thought.
Sure. And we brought up, like that project on 4th Street that wanted to build the 7-story tower. If that had come to us first, it would have failed on height and scale and never would have gotten into
Understand?
Into the zoning.
planning, the legal battles, people spending money.
Understand.
So,
Okay.
then the other thing, the long-term goal, and everybody here has heard me talk about this for a while, and that is the need for us to have better communication. Well, is the meeting minute the best way to rely on that? And I've mentioned in the past the idea of a portal, right? A user interface where, fine, there's other long-term ideas, but just imagine if we all can log in and you could see each application, right? And then those meeting minutes get shared with the other committees, right? So I did put together a little mock, and it's something that I'm going to move forward with. Where is it here? Right here. All right. So, and you could pop the screen up if that's not too easy to see. So, again, this is a mock. I didn't spend any time on this, but it is somewhat functional. But imagine, again, you're logging into a dashboard, a little bit more clean than this, and you're able to search on address. You have your agenda. You could find the status of any project. You can see, okay, HGC approved it. Now, if you look to 200 Northampton, again, no affiliation to these addresses, just completely random. You could see the status overview. You could see HGC review complete, next step planning. So it's very visible what the milestones are. You can have a Gantt chart. You can have any number of things. We can, create this to be a very useful platform, again, for all of us to just communicate. And in that regard, outside of, again, all these other bells and whistles, one, documentation, having one place you can go in and you can easily see, here's the documents, the photos, but then board notes. I'm not saying that this is how it will be structured, but this is the bulk of the idea, right? So you're providing those notes in the meeting minutes, but imagine if they were immediately available, because the chair and the consultant had read and write ability. So those notes you take are put into the portal on each application, and then the week following, Ken and the planning commission could go in and see, oh, there's the notes on this application from the HGC, and they have all the background. Then the same thing for zoning, and vice versa, right? We could say, how often did we ask? Well, what happened? It's all there in theory, and the idea would just be making it as intuitive and easy as possible, and it would just be one step to improve communication, and that's it. So, I'm gonna create a mock platform, that not even mock, one that actually is going to function. And if it's something that we think is valuable, and we'll test it ourselves, we'll test it for next month, the city will be very interested. And right now, OpenGov is not going to be able to do this the way that we would benefit from, nor would it be affordable. OpenGov can get there, within that platform. They'd get us 70–80% of the way. But the fact is, it will cost the city a lot of money to implement something, whereas, I will literally just create it for free, and then the city can host it on their own servers. Everybody would have a login. It would be secure. It'd be all the things you'd expect. And the biggest hurdle is just the process of ingesting the applications into the system. So those are kinks I'll have to work out. My current thought is just giving AI that will be somewhat built in the application that we get, that's all pulled from OpenGov, and just insert it and, see if that works. But that's the biggest, question that needs to be answered. Otherwise, this should be a very valuable tool for everybody to make sure we're moving quick.
Have you presented to anyone else?
I presented it when I presented during the last city council meeting.
And how did the council respond?
Well, again, it wasn't the emphasis. The emphasis was what we all wanted to have happen, right? The order. And
But
I
this
have,
is a tool. Did they
I
understand that?
I had alluded to in past discussions that, you know, communication's been a problem. And I've said long-term, I'd like to see, you know, something along these lines. And I just alluded to it. And then 2 weeks ago, I referenced, hey, I've been talking about it. This is what I mean.
Did you show it to them?
I was showed it, yeah.
Oh, cool.
I mean,
How did they respond?
Responded well. You know,
Okay, good.
I got texts about, you know, that were very, very positive.
Good.
Again, it's not about creating, you know, it's not going to create work for James or anybody, for Anna Zeinvich. Did she get promoted, by the way?
She's been junior foreman since Julie left.
Oh, she just updated her LinkedIn. All right. I saw today that she.
Anna's great.
Yeah, no, I think she's great. The idea here is that you're not making any additional work. So those meeting minutes that you take, ideally what you would also have is a way to export all of those notes in the same format that you submit them
Like when I do the minutes,
when you do the minutes.
that's basically extracting those discussion items.
There's no double work. It's just you're taking those notes, they should live in the system, and then it should be a very easy export.
You'll have to teach me.
Well, you know, the idea is that it'll be
No,
making things much easier.
this is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
From a proprietary standpoint, it would belong to the city, the platform, like the platform itself would belong to the city, like the software or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So then they would be responsible for the maintenance on it after that?
There wouldn't. I mean, sure. I mean, it wouldn't be much maintenance. I mean, it's just, you know, you're talking about needing to host it on the city's servers, and then those servers then have storage. These things, you know, the photos take up some room, but it's not. This is not a big lift at all. Again, the hardest challenge is just how do you get the application from OpenGov
In there.
in a
Yes.
way that captures everything that's on that application. That also might be pretty straightforward, but this is all new.
Well, very, very exciting. And,
Thank you.
Yep. So we'll
Thank
see.
you.
Again,
We start next month?
I'm going to take past, past months and start inserting them, and we'll see what works. So.
And you'll send us a link and we'll set up our own.
Yep. And, you know, it'll
Excellent.
be, you know, it should be considered, you know, while I'll do it secure, it's not city affiliated, right? It's, you know, a project that I'm working on. City's not commissioning this. You have to be careful, right? You don't want to
Yeah.
so.
Well, wait a minute. Is it, so would this be available to the public or just to commissioners?
No, just the commissioners.
Very-
And we
very
would all
happy
have,
with that.
you'd have. a
Yeah, so all
login.
I understand.
internal to the
Just
city
checking.
to help the process of
I think it's excellent.
HDC, zoning, planning, whatever
It's a project.
sequence.
And, you know, look, I'm not a developer. I don't pretend to know all this stuff, but with AI, it's a miracle how much you can do if you just know what things to ask it to do. And now, if you had Mason come in here or somebody else, they'd be like, all right, well, you got it pretty far. Here, let's really, you know, put a bow on it. So that's also likely what would happen. It's like, let's prove that it actually is valuable, and then, you know, and if not, then fine.
We go back
Yeah,
to
right.
paper.
Yeah.
Dang.
We all get it electronically anyway. You know,
Right.
you just imagine your
Hey.
system and you're okay, here we go.
That
Here's
was a
our-
big step when we started getting
Isn't
electronic.
it nice not having all the paper?
Oh, my God, yeah.
So,
Okay.
anyway, that's
Yeah.
the update.
Awesome.
And on the timing of you know, our meetings, if it is something that would be beneficial to, you know, the applicants,
You know what would be
Worth
good, though?
considering.
I think you're going to have to make an argument to do the timing around.
I'm
Timing in what way would the timing be different?
I know, I'm just saying, this could really support the argument to switch the meeting dates once we see this in process.
Lewis had asked me about the timing, right? So
Right.
if HCC's first, well, technically the first of the month,
Right.
you know, the first meeting is planning. So he was like, well, now you have somebody that's going to need to loop back around. I said, well, then just change the order. Is it really going to affect? I don't think any of us are that
Well, yeah,
locked into the second Monday of the month, right?
Well,
We
I don't know about other commissioners, though. I think there's somebody on planning that, anyway.
this is not something
Yeah.
I'm not dying on
Okay,
the
good.
hill of timing. I'm just,
Well, let's
I'm I'm just saying it's.
Focus on this then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it.
Anything else for this meeting today?
Oh, this is exciting.
You're okay that we're getting out of here like in an hour?
Now, listen, my husband
45
said the
minutes.
planning commission was 3 minutes.
Last week. Last week,
Said-
nobody showed up, right?
No, they only had one agenda item. It was all one thing to do and then.
James, what do you think of that idea?
Not against it.
You got a dinner
What's that?
reservation.
Not against
You
it.
have something for me?
I mean, because OpenGov, it's not
No,
gonna,
I got all
tell
tied
you
up
right
with
now,
my
it's
son's
not-
on phone calls at 4 o'clock.
it's not the
I'm
most
gonna
user
go get
friendly.
it now.
And the idea is that it
Now,
wouldn't
so you want me to
be,
come with you?
wouldn't
No, Brooks
need,
at the
it's not
River
for
Grill,
code,
so
right?
I'm
It's not meant to
gonna go
be,
get
my
in
idea
the
is
parking
just
lot of
for
the conference club.
HCC planning,
I'm
zoning,
gonna get the
like,
box.
you know, that's it. Because, you
And
know,
bring it
everybody,
to
you know, and
you
I,
somewhere.
Gordon Green talk
On the
about
way
it
to
too.
the
It's
River
like,
Grill.
we get these applications, it's like,
Where you
well,
gonna be?
where are you? Did you get approved by zoning? We have no idea.
The doorbell.
Okay,
So,
that's what I'll do. Thank you, Mitt.
Have a good night.
That's the
Sometime,
plan.
sometime when you have like 15 minutes,
but
I want to show you your whole family tree.
Nothing happens in 15 minutes
Anyway.
with this family. You should know better, but I will do that. Thank you. Christine, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'll find you.
Are you good?
Okay,
You
buddy,
need
I'll be
anything
there.
from
I'm
me?
going home right now.
No,
You're
I
in good shape?
think
you
so.
don't get the
Okay.
electronic, so those come from Anna, so I'll just make sure she's.
Don't know anything about 230
Yeah,
Ferry.
she has a,
Yeah, I think.
yeah,
we
she has a
mentioned
distro,
it
she's
to
been
the
sending
two
that out,
people
and it's,
Nothing's happening.
Nothing seems to be
Oh, do you?
happening.
Sort of
Okay.
lost momentum on the building, which.
yeah, she's really been great,
Yeah.
and I've talked to her a few
The
times, she's,
building in terms of,
we
I
turn
haven't
these
seen
off?
it internally, but Lucian said it's, I'll shut down the system